Hello, Star and Earth friends. Welcome to Oracle Mystica. Today we are going to do a really lovely reading. I just felt like the reading for this week needed to be something kind of gentle and encouraging and a nice message to really look forward to. So we are going to channel Blessings from Goddesses. And to get into the reading, to start out, I'm going to pick some cards to kind of look into a little bit about who you are, at least what aspects of you are needing this blessing with these archetype cards. And then we are going to look at some tarot cards to kind of see what's been going on with you right now. And then we'll get into the goddess and her blessings through some oracle cards. So we're going to pick 3 piles. And then I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to feel into, for each pile, I'm going to pick 3 archetypes, but to choose the pile, I'm just going to pick the very first one. So just know that the pile you pick, there will be more archetypes added. It won't be just the one that's seen here. So let's dive into this and pick 3 piles for you guys. These cards are sort of sticky and hard to shuffle, so we're just gonna kind of do this. Definitely some things that need blessings coming out. Let's see, and a 3rd pile, angel. Okay, so take a minute. Let's see, let's make these a little prettier. Take just a minute and feel into each of these archetypes. You could look at the color of the card, even the image, or the actual title of the archetype itself. Let's fix that. Okay, so don't think too strongly about preconceived notions you might have about any of these. The addict could be, it doesn't have to be like you're a drug addict or an alcoholic. This could be some sort of habit you have that you're really trying to break. And the saboteur could be, you're looking for success and it keeps eluding you, and maybe there's some pattern you have that's been getting in the way. And the angel could be more about you needing to be kinder to yourself. Like there's many ways to read these, so don't just be like, I'm not an addict, or I don't want to pick saboteur because that sounds negative. Like any of these piles could really shift in terms of how they look with the other cards we pull. So focus a little bit more, even like not on the words, but like the colors and just what you're feeling drawn to, maybe with the images. This is a man pushing, I don't know if that's wind or water. But kind of this force. This is someone going up in a hot air balloon. And this was someone kind of hugging themselves in a little bit of a, I don't know, they're like surrounded by a heart and stars and stuff. Yeah, so maybe like look at the colors and the images instead of the titles and feel into these. So this would be a good place to pause if you need before we start. And this will be pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, so pause here and we will start with pile 1. Hello, pile one. If this is you guys, you picked the red card with the man pushing this force of energy, titled Addict. And we are going to pick two more archetype cards to go with this one to look a little bit at what aspect of yourself is needing a little bit of a blessing and some help through goddess energy and calling in a goddess. Okay. One more. This card wanted to come out. Wow, very spiritual in some ways. Okay, so this addict card says, the light attribute helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Shadow attributes compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Okay, and then the God card. The light attribute says benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. The shadow attribute, despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. And I am going to look a little bit more at the shadow in this, and maybe using the goddess blessings to get us into the lighter aspect of these. The priest facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Shadow attribute violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So I'm definitely feeling like this addict card maybe bringing up some sort of pattern you have that is a little bit in your shadows that you don't see, maybe around almost like an addiction to spirituality that has gone a little bit too far. Like maybe you need to ground yourself a little bit more in life right now. I don't feel like what we're talking about is necessarily like this deep lifelong pattern, that we're just kind of talking about the current moment. So whenever you're seeing this reading, these are aspects of yourself that have maybe kind of dipped into the shadow attributes. So there's this like deep need you're having to kind of channel in information from the spiritual and feel really connected to eternity and something that's bigger and beyond you. And it's maybe gotten to a point where you are neglecting aspects of tangible human earthly life that's suffering a little. And maybe that's if you were to dip back into that, or we can find, through the goddess, maybe find messages she has around what's going on around this. But that's sort of what I'm picking up, is like I don't think it's, obviously, like, I love being connected into things more spiritual than more earthly, but there are times when we are living on earth as part of our curriculum. We do have to take care of ourselves and our spaces and people around us, and do the mundane things like wash the dishes and wash our sheets and clothes and take showers, that kind of stuff. And like maybe there's a little bit of detachment from really taking care of some of these more mundane things at this moment, that you may be in somewhat of a little bit of a depression. That's what I'm picking up for some of you, maybe not everybody. And just like really, really, really leaning into guidance and help from, your spiritual aspect, and maybe what they're saying back is like, you can help yourself a little bit here by taking care of some of the things on your plate that you're neglecting, that are really tangible and earthly, and maybe not feeling that interesting to you at the moment, but kind of this reality check type thing. But we'll wait to see what the goddess says. First, we're going to pick some tarot cards from this transparent tarot. I haven't used these in a reading yet because like aesthetically they're not as like bold and exciting, but what I love is I really am a storyteller, and the way that these cards can layer and merge onto each other, it really makes them dynamic to read and feels more story-esque to me, and I love that. And I use these a lot in my personal life, but I thought it'd be fun to bring them into a reading and see how it goes that way. Pull out a little bit of my storytelling background, creative writing, but channeled this time. Okay, so we're going to pick 3 cards and we're going to read them sort of in a row like we did with the archetypes, but then we're going to layer them on top of each other, and that always reveals like a little bit of a different story too. These are incredibly slippery cards, so oftentimes they go everywhere, so I'm just being really gentle and careful about them. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing, okay, Knight of Cups, 7 of Cups, okay. This is definitely like a little bit in dreamland for sure. Let's see, what is this? So, yeah, 7 of Cups. So just gonna put those together for now. I think mentally right now you have a lot of potentials and opportunities and things pulling at you. And it's paralyzing you though. Like it's always good to have a lot of opportunities and doors opening and desires and curiosities. But when we have too many of them, it really can make it hard to know where to start or what to do, and it brings this feeling of stuckness. And so that's where I feel like your mind is at right now. And it's definitely like the Knight of Cups has this deep connection to Piscean energy, which is sort of could tap into this very spiritual realm we've been talking about, as well as into addiction, because it does rule our shadows, or aspects of our shadow. Yeah, so I feel like maybe in your tangible day-to-day normal life, there's so much going on that you don't know what to do, and you've really plugged into this spiritual aspect, and that's just opening with that 7 of Cups now is like taking you into this very dreamy state. I love the 7 of Cups in this deck. Is like they're in a dream. They're not really standing upright or laying down. They're like in this in-between place or something. Here, I'll lift that up just to show you. It's like they're not quite laying down and they're not quite standing up, and there's all these things in the air. It's like they're in this liminal place, this limbo. So both mentally and emotionally, I feel like your mental and emotional bodies are congealing here, and there's just like a lot going on with both of them, and you're just kind of drifting off because you don't know how to move. You don't know what to choose. You don't know how to move forward. And this Knight of Cups is just like really taken over to a point where it's a little bit out of balance now, where you're just like really kind of drifting off in space, which sometimes can be nice, but I feel like there are a lot of things going on, and I feel like life and the universe are trying to tell you like you need to like take some, like choose some direct, like do something. It's time to do something, which could be starting with taking some of these options off of your plate. I feel like that would be the first step. I feel like there is a message before we even get to the goddess of like, you can't do it all. All of these options you have in front of you, you need to weed some of them out because it's paralyzing you. And it's making you drift off into this spiritual territory that may feel really good, but it's at the expense of your life moving forward in tangible, grounded ways. Okay, so we are going to pick the goddess now, and then I have some oracle cards beyond her that we're going to tap into her energy, and this goddess that you pick is going to be picking these oracle cards. So we're going to be interpreting the oracle cards through this goddess's lens. But we'll get a general message from her first about everything we've talked about. Vast, independent. Okay. And this is the cat-headed goddess in Egypt. And it says your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. And this goddess has a ton of cat-like energy. These cards are so beat up. These are actually the first oracle cards I ever got. Like, I don't know how old they are, 20, maybe not quite 20 years, but they're so old. And yeah, anyway, I'm very connected to all of them because I've had them forever. Yeah, so this goddess has an independence about her, yet a playfulness. You could just think about a cat where they kind of protect their territory. So that independence isn't necessarily saying that you don't have community and loved ones. Like cats, if you think of a cat, they usually belong to a family or have kind of a territory if they're stray, and they protect it. And they really do care about their owners. I'm going to talk about domesticated cats, house cats. You know, they really do, so long as they have been not abused, assuming they're with a loving family. You know, they love who they're with. They may be aloof, but they do have this guard thing about them, but they also need some playfulness, and they're very independent. And this energy, Bast is coming in to say, I think you need to get like a little bit mischievous in a way to kind of get yourself out of these dreamy spiritual places where you're kind of drifting. I think you need to get like a little bit playful, curious, feisty. So like thinking about all these potential ideas you have and all of these emotions that are swirling around, kind of like, you know, think of how the cat like bats at things. Like, which things do you want to like swat away? Like put yourself almost in like this cat energy. And I think Bast wants to help you. She wants to help you reclaim your strength and your independence by batting some of these ideas, potentials, emotions off your plate so that you can kind of focus. You know, cats are also very strategic when they're hunting. They will wait to the exact right time and pounce. And if they're too distracted with too much going on, that doesn't work. So I really feel like Bast is coming in to help you make some decisions and start getting strategic and playful and a little bit mischievous, I want to say, which I don't know, that, that can be fun. Mischievous energy can help us to sometimes see to the truths of certain shadows we have, see into the truth of a certain addiction or a certain complex or a certain need to feel plugged in. That's also coming through this independence. You need to reclaim some of your own boundaries for yourself and not channel so much. I do think that you have a very open channel to things spiritual, but I think right now you need to close that channel a little bit and really ground into yourself and your own energy. And Bast is here to help you reclaim your own energy, your own strength, and kind of shut off the boundaries for a minute to all these other things flooding into you so that you can focus and so that you can strategize and start to move forward with some things. Okay. I love her for you guys. I think that was the perfect goddess to pick. All right, we are going to pick a sacred landscape that Bast will interpret for us in terms of what she wants to bless you with. Opportunity. So I think you have a lot of potentials and opportunities around you right now, and she's going to bless you with knowing which opportunity is the right opportunity. But to do that, you have to get out of dreamland. You have to take some things off of your plate, and you really have to get back into your own energy to feel in your body what's lighting you up, to know which of these opportunities is the one that brings you a lot of joy and excitement and makes your heart feel excited, that makes you want to turn into that cat and stalk it and pounce it. Which opportunity are you really feeling like you want to get into your clutches, but she's going to bring you an opportunity. She's going to help you get back into your energy, and she's going to help you through that feeling of wanting to clutch it, to pounce it, to stalk it. That feeling that comes in, that's her helping you know that that is the opportunity you're supposed to go after. Because I think the problem isn't finding opportunities, it's knowing which is the right opportunity. I think there's a ton of opportunities around you right now, and you're just paralyzed by it. So that is, she's blessing you with these sensations as a knowing. So knowing, just which one are you really wanting to get into your clutches and play with and pounce on. That is her whispering to you that this is the one. This is the opportunity you need to really focus on and weed other things out so that you can make some progress on and step into. Okay, and then we're going to pick a gemstone with a little message. Garnet. Ooh, this exactly what I have said, and these sensations that are coming through around wanting to clutch and play with and hold some kind of opportunity. So this card says ignite your passion, Garnet, and it's actually the birthstone of Aquarius. So it's what can you, the other thing that will come beyond the sensation that Bast is giving you is being able to envision yourself in the future down this path of this opportunity. What do you have the easiest access to be able to see yourself in this, and kind of having helped this opportunity blossom through what you can bring to it in the future, think 5 years ahead or something. That's another blessing she's bringing, that you not only will you have these sensations that are a little bit more impulse driven and immediate, but she's also giving you the blessing that you will be able to imagine this opportunity and you entangled with it 5 years down the road, because there's so much passion there, because it really ignites you. Okay, the last card, we're going to read a little bit from the guidebook because I don't know. They're sort of complex. They're the White Light Oracle, and I definitely don't know these cards well. And even if I had studied them, I feel like they're a little complex, but I felt like the goddesses wanted to tap into them because they're almost angelic type things. So 7 blessings of Eve. All right, let's look at the guidebook. I'm not going to read, it has like pages, so I'm just reading this initial kind of message that it gives. So a spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. Yeah, I'm just scanning it. It says this oracle can shift you away from shame and confusion, perhaps feeling you have something to prove, or that you are not enough, or that you have to atone for failing for this or other lifetimes. It's really just saying that you are blessed, and there's a natural charisma and capacity to be influential channel for higher wisdom. It's tapping into this number 7, which we had with the cups, the 7 of cups, that you really do, you have this opportunity. It may be a spiritual thing. It's just that you need to take tangible steps right now to make this more spiritual aspect of yourself something that can work for you as an opportunity and not just something to get lost in. It's like you need to create some structure around this. So I think Bast is coming in with this blessing. We've already talked about like the sensations she's bringing, and with the birthstone being able to envision. And this is giving a little bit more of a clue that your innate talent is very spiritual, and that is the opportunity that she's trying to direct you towards, something having to do with these things that you're lost in. And she just wants you to know that you are blessed in this, and you have innate talent and gifts, and she's going to help you forge your path here. You just need to create some structure for it. You need to give it some earthly pertinence and understand your market. You know, those things that can be sort of a drag, but can help us to be successful. And Bast is good at that. She knows how to see the trends. She knows how to, you know, that cat energy is very observational and very clever and very quick. Like, I think you have a sharp mind. You just have to turn it to the right places and do a little bit of gathering of information of how to create some structure and strategy with what you actually want to do with this opportunity that she's going to help you understand is the right opportunity. But she wants you to know through this that you are gifted, you were born gifted, and there's something very spiritual in you that you have to share. It's just that You have to figure out how to ground it into reality. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave you guys. So happy being cats and hunting and stalking your opportunity and figuring out which one is lighting you up. I know you can do it. Bast is with you. And this is where I'm going to leave you guys. All right. Hello, pile 2. If this is you guys, you picked the saboteur card. We are going to pick 2 more archetypes, and then I'll kind of go through them, and we will see what at this moment, these aspects of you that are kind of needing some blessing from Goddess. So these don't necessarily have to be your main archetypes. They don't have to, what we see here doesn't have to be something that's been universal across your whole lifetime. It's just like currently right now what aspect of you is needing some blessings. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to read both the light and shadow of each of these, and then try and come up with like how there's something, you know, like in each of these piles, there's maybe something that's sort of stuck that this blessing is really helping with. Okay, so with the saboteur, the light attribute highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Shadow attribute induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Okay, so issues around undermining and self-empowerment. And then the Virgin, the light attribute, is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow attribute is fear of intimate union. Okay, storyteller, the light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. Okay. I kind of wonder if I have this overwhelming sense that you've been really hurt by someone lately, or a group, or feeling kind of you know, I just look at this Virgin card, like she feels very isolated in the, you know, thinking about her in a shadow. There's something kind of closed off, walled off. And I think there are narratives going through your mind that maybe aren't completely accurate, that are undermining certain ability for you to claim your own power. So I would challenge you right now. I mean, we're going to get the Goddess blessing, and she'll probably have better advice for you. But I think you have some made up stories in your own head. I don't see this as you like gossiping or spreading malicious stories about others, but I think you're undermining yourself through narratives that may not be true about yourself, about others, and it's really polluting your sense of clarity, your ability to feel self-sufficient. And you know, Virgin to me is very connected to the Virgo energy, which is really about a self-sufficiency and a deep instinctual rhythm and knowing that's very personal, unencumbered by anybody else's sort of opinions or thoughts. And I think that your thoughts and your rhythms and your ideas have been very polluted. You're letting other people's narratives or your own narratives cloud the truth and the true capability and productivity and power that you actually have as a very kind of more independent, capable, sustainable, rhythmic person. And you've put some walls up, has made it hard for you to connect with others because you're reading some things wrong, and it's really, it's undermining this ability to step into some self-sufficiency, and your own empowered rhythm. So, okay, let's pick a goddess and see how she, from a higher place, might bring some blessings and healing to this and ways forward. And what maybe, well, we'll get it. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. We're going to do some tarot first. And this might illuminate a little bit what these stories are that are undermining you. Okay, 7 of Swords. Okay. I think this is about groups, or how you plug into groups, how you feel you're being seen or not by others. Magician, Hierophant. Okay, these are really cool. Just a little side note, these transparent tarot, I use these a ton in my personal life, but the pictures aren't as like beautiful as some of my other decks, so I haven't used them yet in an online reading, but I love that they can layer onto each other due to their transparency, and they're really like, you guys might love this. I feel like you have a storyteller ability. It's just kind of gone awry. They really do help you see kind of stories more clearly, or like flesh out stories in really dynamic ways because of the way that they can layer, and you can look at them in different ways through that kind of layering. So I'm going to first read it a little bit less layered, and then we're going to layer them and see if that reveals some other kind of pattern. Yeah, you have, you're letting other people's, it's other people's, or what you perceive as other people's stories of you kind of pollute who you actually are. And it's really affecting your ability to connect to the spiritual aspect of yourself and feel, I feel like that's what the intimate union is like you're unable, because of these stories you've allowed to pollute into your life that are untrue. It's affecting how you're able to find divine wisdom and find your own divinity, and it's undermining even your own sense of, it could even be that the culture you're in, whether it was the one you were brought up in or not, it's like it's not the right, like you're not in the right culture right now. And it's really, because of that, you're maybe a bit of an outsider. And so these narratives you have about yourself are about your sense of feeling like an outsider. And it's not necessarily how others see you. It's just that like you're struggling to find how you connect. So it's not necessarily how anyone thinks of you. It's just like personally you're struggling to connect. And so it's intruding on your ability to connect to your divinity, to your beautiful eternal self that's inherently magical, which is getting in the way of you manifesting. This is the Magician card and the Hierophant. I always say that weird. Anyway, and so like layering these, story comes up. Yeah, this is weird. Like, obviously not literally, but like in your mind, I think you need to, I'm just seeing these swords going through this tree, which to me is representing the culture that's affecting you. I don't think that there's any great way for you to refine yourself to fit into this culture, and you just need to put a fork in it and say, this is, and it's not so easy to completely detach from a culture or certain it might just be a group. Sometimes that can be hard, but just recognizing that they aren't your tribe. This isn't your soul culture or your soul tribe or whatever this group is that's affecting you. Like, it may be hard to completely cut them from your life, but if you can acknowledge, like, they just aren't my soul people, you can stop the chatter and any narratives that are branching out from this place that are affecting you, and just kind of compartmentalize them. And if you're able to even just kind of leave it behind, it depends on how tied in, entangled, if this is family, that can be hard. But if it's just like a group of friends you've known for 5 years, like, cut them loose. That it depends on how entangled this is, or it could be the actual culture where you live, and that's really difficult too. But this is saying, put a fork in it. These people are not your soul people. This group is not your soul tribe. You can compartmentalize them over here, but you need to put up a wall to letting their intimate access to you affect the narratives you tell yourself about yourself. You're done with it. Move it along, find your soul people. And I think this is saying that if you can do that, magic is going to happen and your tribe is going to unite with you. You will find them. You just need to kind of, Anyway, sorry, I channeled a lot there. I meant to let the goddess do this, but she's probably going to have more to say. So let's pick our goddess and see what else she's got to say here. Oh, she just flew on out. She's like, hello, stop talking, it's my turn. Ixchel, medicine woman. It's the Mayan goddess of rain, I think. You are a channel for divine healing power. Yeah, you have this. I want to pull this tree back out, which in this deck is the Hierophant. You have a channel to the divine, but it's just been blocked due to these narratives you've told yourself. You may even have just like these incredibly magical abilities, and I feel like Ixchel is coming here to confirm this and say and give you her blessing of like, you are one of my priestesses. You can work with lightning and rain and water in a really, really powerful, healing, magical way. And I think you've had evidence of this, but it's this past tribe, community, culture, whatever it is that you've been with, group, it's blocked you from fully embracing that. And she's saying it's time. She's calling you in as her priestess. That's what's happening. And if you come in, if you accept that invitation, her blessings are multifold. That's not a word, but I don't care. She's going to heal you. You might have some physical ailments due to these narratives. And if you accept her calling as one of her priestesses of like really understanding how to work with water in a healing way, and to be a channel through water to the divine, I think she's going to heal some of your ailments, and then you in turn are going to start doing that as well. So she's calling into you. This is more than a blessing. This is a calling. Woo, that came through powerfully. Did you see how she jumped out? She was ready for you. She needs you. Okay, I'm just going to trust that. That felt really radical, but I'm going to trust it, so you should. So, okay. We're going to pull a few oracle cards and try and use Ixchel's lens to interpret them instead of what I divine or what I channel. I'm going to try and put Ixchel's lens onto channel and like get her message that she's channeled, if that makes sense. Okay, so Argonite, release your emotional baggage. So whatever stories, narratives you have adopted from being connected to a certain culture or group that are undermining your self-empowerment and polluting your self-sufficient, abundant self, Ixchel is saying it has created a lot of emotional baggage. And like she said, if you accept her calling, she can clear this for you. But she wants you to be around water a lot. If you want to get Aragonite and Aragonite stone, go for it. If that's not something you have access to or are interested in, or you're just not going to motivate to do anyway, I think she wants to come through and say that the same thing can happen by putting yourself around water. Like you need to take baths, you need to walk by water, you need to put on water noises as you sleep, especially rain and lightning. That clearing, if you think about a storm, a lightning and rain storm, and how clearing that is, channeling that kind of energy is going to help you release so much emotional baggage that is kind of, polluted your sense of your own magic wholeness. You're a manifester, and you just haven't seen it. Yeah, so that's what she wants to say there. Okay, and then we have a sacred landscape that she wants to give us a message through. Forgiveness. Here's the thing. It's not like whoever this group, this culture, this community, whatever this is, it's not like they're bad people. I don't think there's been anything malicious on your end or their end. I think you're surrounded by light, which just attracts beautiful people. I think these are also potentially really beautiful people, which could make this really hard. It's just that they're not your soul tribe, and so it's been damaging to have to try and refine yourself to be, oh my gosh, I'm almost gonna cry, to fit in with them. And it was just a circumstance. I think it might have even been a test for you to be self-assertive in claiming who you are. I think maybe that's been a curriculum for you. And so it's just like forgiving everyone in this tribe that's not your soul tribe, and forgiving yourself for having a lot of difficult feelings about maybe some of these people, and forgiving some of them for not understanding you. I feel like to really be able to separate this community and move towards your soul tribe, I think forgiveness needs to be found all around, for yourself, for them, for the circumstance. And through that forgiveness, I think you're going to see, I think Ixchel wants to help you know that this is something that's really strengthened you, because when you do step into power with your soul tribe, it's going to mean that much more, because you had to choose it. You weren't born into this. You had to choose it. So I think she's saying if you can forgive, release these emotional baggages, and step into this role she's inviting you and calling you into as someone who can really work with water and healing, or used healing, it's not like you have to be specifically a water healer. Like, tap into your storyteller, like maybe you use water as a channel to write stories that are incredibly healing. There's endless ways. It doesn't have to be so literal of like, you need to go learn how to heal with water. There's endless ways to meld this energy of water and healing. It can look so many ways. Maybe you're a nutritionist or like interested in diet and you know how to make juices with really purified water. I don't know, like whatever it is, like it could be literally this water healer, or it could be a nutritionist, a storyteller, but someone who knows how to channel through water and make their work artfully healing, but she's saying it's through, like, in order to move on and to step into this role and to find your tribe, you need to find forgiveness all around yourself, others, the circumstance, the situation, and to recognize the strength it has built in you, and that ability to be very self-assertive in claiming who you are. Okay, we have one more message, and I'm going to be reading from the guidebook from it because I do not know these cards. I've tried to, they're really beautiful, and I've used them in my daily life a little bit, trying to familiarize myself, but they're a little bit complex, and so even if I was more familiar with them, I feel like I'd still need the guidebook. But they're really beautiful messages, and I just felt like the goddesses could channel with these very well. Oh, beautiful. Deer of Delta. Let's check that out. I know delta waves are like the deepest, I think. Like delta waves and sleep are like the deep sleep, I believe. I love deers. Okay, so we're just going to read a little bit of this, and then I might skim it a bit too. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Yeah, I think you just have some really negative emotions and narratives going on that, undermined you completely. So how can we do this without force? Overcome extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, completely. I mean, look at this Virgin card. There is a purity in you, and not like a innocent childlike virginity. It's just this like really instinctive, pure knowing and pure channel. You're just like a very pure channel, because you can, the strength you've been getting, Ixchel is giving me a message, is to trust that strength you have as a pure channel and not let other things interfere in it. And you've really had to learn how to do that. And part of that is maybe having to go through being parts of tribes that are not your own to build up that strength of being able to claim your knowings, against pressures of resistance around those. Okay, sorry, back to this. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effortlessly invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. Some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as we know it, to unlearn what to unlearn what one once knew, to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here, one is completely unconscious. There is temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deepest healing and renewal. Here, the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healing are gained. In Delta, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our own understanding. So, on top of noises of water, as you sleep, you could put on soundtracks that have that frequency, that Delta frequency. So it says 0 hertz to 4 hertz. Delta waves are the slowest and most stabilizing of the brain waves. So there's certain like beats, drum beats, whatever it is, that match these frequencies or hertz. And I think spending some time with that will help you really get into this regenerative place of really allowing a rewiring, a releasing, a letting go, a rebirth. And, you know, water is definitely known for purifying and that rebirth kind of quality, a baptism, if you will. You don't have to be Christian, or I'm sure there's other religions that do baptism type things, but you know, as an element, water can do that. So water, delta frequencies, I think these will help you to do the work you need to do to let go of the past, compartmentalize it where it needs to be, or else totally release it for some of you, depending on, you know, the situation and the depth of the entanglement. And that will help you to really claim your power with Excel. All right, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Hello, pile 3. You guys chose the pile with the angel. So we're going to pick 2 more archetype cards to kind of unpack which aspects of you are needing a goddess blessing. And these don't have to be aspects of you that are your most strong archetypes. They don't even have to be ones that have universally for a long time kind of been prominent. They're just currently at this reading what are needing a blessing and some help. So we're going to choose a couple more and then suss out sort of a message. It's, you know, I'm trying to look for something that's kind of stuck or blocked or confused, that kind of thing. And then we're going to do some tarot cards to tease out a little bit more nuance about it. And then we're going to pick the goddess to bring in a blessing. And then she has some oracle cards that we're going to channel through her lens too, to add to what she has to say. Okay, I feel like this one wants to come out. Don 1 and the Fool. This is a very interesting pile. I haven't even read these attributes yet, but very interesting. Okay. I feel like a lot of them are completely contradictory, but let's see what they say. Okay, so angel, light attribute, helping those in need with no expectation of return. Shadow attribute, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Okay. Dawn 1, light attribute, spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. Shadow attribute, using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. I feel like already this is like maybe something about you playing innocent about your powers of persuasion that you're consciously maybe using. You guys are funny. Okay, the Fool, light attribute, fearlessly fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy, shadow attributes, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. Okay, I know what's going on. I think that there is an emotional truth that you're not seeing, and to hide from it or to I don't know, almost like purposely run from it, you are using your powers of persuasion. I don't think this has to completely be, it could be romantic for many of you, but it could just be your persuasive powers. That's what I'm getting, is like you're a really persuasive person. I think you're running from a certain truth and looking for like feedback from others about how you are mesmerize them, to feed your ego in some way, and you're plain innocent about it. I think you know that you're doing it somewhat consciously, maybe not completely consciously, but you know on some level you're using your persuasion to get certain feedback that you want, in order to run from and hide from a real truth that's hidden behind a mask. It's, like a deep wound that you're just, that you're feeling. It's like there's a hole in you. And if you were to face the truth of that hole, you could do the work to heal it and repair it. But you're just patching it up with masks by kind of using your persuasive eloquence to get certain feedback, to feed something a little bit, I do want to say a little bit egoic going on. And it's cutting you off from that light attribute of the angel of no expectation of some sort of return from people for your performances. You're plain innocent that no, you don't want anything, in return, like you're just being yourself and you don't need anything in return, but you are looking for things in return for your, I don't know like why I want to call it performances, but I do. And there's nothing wrong with performances if they're done for the right reasons, but when they're being done to hide from healing and truth, it can hurt yourself and others. So let's see if I'm channeling this correct. Let's see what the tarot has to say. If there's, is that 3 cards? Those just kind of came right out. Okay. These are my transparent cards, and I love how you're able to layer them, and they really can create sort of dynamic. I haven't used them yet in a reading, so they're not as like beautiful as some of the other decks, but the way they layer, you can like really look at these narratives or stories in dynamic ways and different ways. So, okay, let's actually look at these real quick. I think you're stuck in a phase of life and you're trying to manually, the Wheel of Fortune here is about sort of the cycle of life that's natural and fated that we don't have control of. And I think you're trying to control this wheel. You feel stuck, and so you're trying to manually turn it. And you're doing it through the way you're able to gather people, the way you're able to perform with others, your persuasive ability. It's like you're trying to use people to help you. Maybe you're trying to get other people to turn the wheel for you. That could be an issue. because nobody can turn it, it's fate's. And you're not only hurting yourself in terms of like trying to do it manually, but you're trying to get other people to burn themselves on fate and turn this wheel, or displacing your own self capability of owning your own life, and you're trying to put your destiny and moving out of this thing that feels stuck on other people, and it should never be placed on other people. Only you can, like, I mean, certainly people can come into our lives and change it, but this is saying that's not what's helping right now. You need to change your life for you. You cannot expect other people to change your life. You can't expect a windfall through attaching yourself to others or persuading others to help you do it. Like you, and I feel like there's a block because of this plain innocent, like people may not be completely conscious of it, but it, there's a vibration that can be felt. And so like maybe there's some blocks around collaborations really moving forward because you're not doing your part. You're not taking control of your own part, of your own destiny, of your own fate. You're waiting for other people to turn the wheel, so that you don't have to face some kind of work you need to do to step into your own power, to be the creator of your own fate. It's, just because there's a phase of life happening right now that feels stuck to you, you also have free will to choose how you see this time and this phase and what you do with it. And you can't leave it up to others, and you can't persuade them to do it for you. And I think the way forward, I like this card's Eight of Cups more than some of the others, because the interpretation it talks about is like there's been some sort of sloppy organization of Seven Cups, because it's like there hasn't actually been a lot of heart and soul connected to certain things, and it's time to leave those behind because they aren't built well anyway, and to reach for the thing you actually want. And I think that's where the wound is for you. I think that there's some calling, some aspect of yourself that you really want, but it's been hard for you to believe you can do it for yourself. It's like you're waiting for fate or for others to do it for you, but you need to claim it for yourself without the help of anyone else and without the help of fate or destiny. I think everything will move. I think collaborations will go better. I think fate will work better for you, phases of life, once you step into your power and claim your powers for yourself, not with anyone else's help. Or I've said it. Kind of lecturing you guys. I feel like I need to. You need to do things for you. You need to stop expecting. I don't know why I'm lecturing you guys, but I feel like you need it. I feel like there's so much potential, and you have such abilities. You do have this magnetism and this power, but you're using it wrong. And you're trying to manipulate certain things to make life work for you. But that will start to happen once you claim your own power and make your own success almost on your own. in whatever this is about, whether it's romantically, professionally, family, I don't know. It could be in all of the above. But yeah, I really feel like you're trying to put your wants and desires. What are the truths of what you want and need? And what is the truth of what you're doing to get it? Are you trying to manipulate fate and the cycles of life and other people to bring that to you or to make it happen for you? Something to look at. You may not be fully conscious of that, but I think to me, this is saying once you claim it for yourself and do the work, be your own entrepreneur of whatever it is, romance, love, family, finances, career. Once you make these work for you without getting other people to do it for you, all of these things will start cycling. Other people will start to help you. Fate will start to help you, but not until you can do it for yourself first. Okay, moving on. Let's get the goddess who, let's see how she can help you with this. Because this really makes me sad. It's like there's a wound of like saying that you're not good enough to do it for yourself, you know, which is really quite tragic because you're quite magical. You can. Let's see what the goddess says. I'm going to stop channeling this lecturing voice that's coming into me, and let's pull a nicer goddess to come in. Yeah, see, Lakshmi, this is lovely, and it is nicer. I'm sure you're ready to stop hearing me lecture. Well, I'm channeling something, but Lakshmi's coming in and she's saying, stop worrying. Everything's going to be fine. Step into your power. Like, you've got this. Trust yourself. Trust your own power. Stop trying to find your power through others, through persuasion, through... it will be fine. You have it. You have what it takes to do this for yourself, to reach for what you actually want on your own journey without anyone else's, you know, like, I'm not saying we don't ever need help, but like with being very conscious of, you know, what it is you're reaching for and asking for the help you need consciously instead of trying to manipulate others to do this. Like, why are you trying? Like, people I think would be happy to help you on your journey to claim your power, but they don't like being manipulated. And even if they're not totally conscious of it, there's a vibe and they know, and so there are walls, you know. But once you just ask, like, hey, this is what I want and I need help, like, people would be happy to help. Just don't manipulate, you know. I think that's what Lakshmi is saying, is like, you got this. Like, don't give your power away for others, because if someone else does it for you, finds your success, your love for you, it's not really yours, you know. And I think down deep, you want it for yourself. And so maybe you even sabotage the things that you try to persuade to do things for you. In the end, you just need to claim your power and do it for yourself and be a little bit more self-reliant right now and stop worrying. You'll be successful and there's a bright future in it. Okay, so we are going to pull some oracle cards and try to channel them through, well, I'm going to be channeling Lakshmi, who will be interpreting these oracle cards. Okay, so the first one is gemstone and tourmalated quartz. Get out of your own way. Yeah, completely. Like, I think the persuasive abilities you have and the ability to play innocent, all it has done is gotten in your way. You just need to be you. Trust that you have what it takes to reach for what you actually want and get out of your way. Just do it. And don't ask other people to do it. Don't ask fate to do it or wait for fate to do it. Like, claim your power, get out of your way, and go. Lakshmi is now lecturing too. Interesting. Okay. This is a sacred landscape card. So we'll see if there's a landscape that Lakshmi can tap into. Flow. Beautiful. Like you do have a very fluid way, I can see, with these archetypes within you. You know, the angelic is very light, and the Don Juan is very able to mold and meld and bend things, and the Fool can flip things upside down, and you know, there are very, very fluid energies here. And so part of getting out of your own way, I think she's saying, and I love that she's also standing in water, is just like, tap into your flow. You know, like, everyone knows a little bit of what flow states feel like. But there is something to know about if you're trying to get into them, because I think that's your way forward to get out of your way, is to find your flow states. And it is finding challenges that match certain skills you have. So what are your skills, and what kind of challenges can you put those in to create avenues of flow states for yourself? Because that will help you do this on your own, to get out of your own way and to kind of like let go and reach. You know, like this card wants you to, for yourself. And it's interesting, it's not like there's messages coming through about not knowing what you want. I think you know what you want. You just need to put yourself in some challenges to, you know, that you are capable. Don't put yourself in over your head, but put yourself in up against some challenges, and challenge your, you know, you're a clever person. Challenge yourself a little, which will put yourself into some flow states, which is going to move you and help you kind of change something about your life that you feel stuck in. Okay, one more card, and I'm going to be reading out of the guidebook for this. I've been trying to use these cards a little bit to familiarize myself, but their descriptions are like pages long, so they're really hard to, I don't think I'll ever memorize what these are about. So we're going to read a little bit, not the whole descriptions, but a little bit out of the guidebook. Sacred scar, yeah. The shadow of the Fool really does talk about, yeah, there's a wound you'd rather cover up that's really been blocking something. Okay, sacred scar. Let's see. Okay, your inner and outer scars are marks of your soul's courage. They are signs of strength and survival, of your willingness to be alive. The sacred scar speaks of that which once caused pain, being transformed into higher knowledge and inner power. Trauma shall be transformed through spiritual initiation, leading you from woundedness to wisdom. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can trust your healing process and in the hidden higher purpose behind things happening as they do. You are strong and you shall flourish on all levels. Some experiences are hard to weather even when our intention is to trust. Going through a challenging time is likely to give rise to suffering. Consider the mother eagle raising her precious eaglets in the sanctuary of a meticulously padded and fiercely defended nest. They know safety and comfort until one day the mother who provided unceasing nurturance abruptly pushes them out of the nest and into the air. She knows this is how they will learn that they can fly. I think Lakshmi is about to do this to you. I think there has been some spiritual protection around you that's felt like a spiritual mother, not really like in this tangible world, but there's been some kind of spiritual protection around you because maybe you've had some wounds. And I think she's coming through to say, it's time though for you to fly and me to stop protecting you. Like I don't think she's going to hold your hand. She's still going to be by your side, but she's not holding you anymore. She thinks you're ready to fly. I think that's what's coming through. That's what this is about. I think there's been some stagnancy because there's had to be a lot of healing and you've been maybe impatient with the healing. So trying to make other people find other avenues to push certain things forward, which you've maybe seen through being able to do through other people. But yeah, I think Lakshmi is saying that you're ready to do this on your own and she's pushing you out of the nest. But don't worry, you have a bright future. And the other, so for the eaglet, there is not yet any such knowledge. Disoriented and disturbed, but eventually innate instinct overtakes confusion, and those brave little eaglets begin to flap their fledgling wings. During the plummet from the nest, they have learned the purpose of the tough lesson and grown. The trauma of disruption became their initiation into power. Yeah, this is, that's where I'm going to stop. I think that flow state, you have capabilities, you have talents, you have innate DNA that you are designed to do certain things. And Lakshmi is about to push you out to do this on your own. I think that's what's happening here. So it's time to acknowledge your ability to charm and be innocent, and move past that, because she's saying you're ready to do this for yourself now. You don't need others to help you in the way that you've thought you've needed them in the past. Of course, it's always okay to ask for help, but like you can do it a little bit more deliberately and consciously now, instead of as a mask to some hidden agenda, but yeah, it's like a graduation. This is really interesting. That's what I'm feeling. Like this is a bit of Lakshmi is graduating you, and she's going to be by you, but I think she's been holding you instead of pushing you, and she's ready to push. So get ready to fly. I think that's what's coming through. So that's exciting. But I do think she's saying you need to acknowledge your past patterns and quit them, because you're ready to do it for yourself. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Good luck soaring as little eaglets. All right.